Please select a mission.
Boss, this contract comes from the Mbele rebel militants. That's right. That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother. His number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon. The message reads, "I love my brother. You must bring him back to me alive." It also says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Mother Base. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss.
Mission accepted. Deploying.
Mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the general's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbele militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your eye druid.
The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
There he is,
The
the
map has been
commander.
updated.
Extract him. Enemy
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
That's the target prisoner. Okay, that's the general's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. Another group of child soldiers. No, must be a squad they had out on patrol. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself. Boss, another child soldier has entered the village. Must have been out on patrol. Looks like they had more than one patrol out. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
Marker placed. Clouds approaching. Marker placed. Please support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Marker removed. Marker removed.
Bangi ya General ya Bakala Ilungu Mosi Tata ya Bankaka na Mono Telaka Mono Mambu General.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Bantu ya Buta ya Mbele Etinkaka Mosi Tata Mosi.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Ya Ikintamu Kadiaka Umabe.
All that's left is to extract the commander. That's it. We've made it out of the hot zone.
Exfiltrated
No
hot
sign of the
zone.
enemy.
Mission
Mission
order
complete,
has
boss.
been updated.
Departing.
Subject on board.
Extraction
Leave the rest to
arrived
us.
at Mother Base.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. The one and only. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the general's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Unit. Staff has been quarantined. Select unit. Staff has been quarantined. Select unit.
We'll quarantine the staff you specified.
Staff has been
Did you
quarantined.
figure out what's causing the infection?
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the
Select
staff you
unit.
specified. Did you
Staff
figure out what's
has
causing
been
the infection?
quarantined.
Boss, a new job's come in. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shabani and the others to Nzoya Badiabulu, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.
Please select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base.
Saba, tatana mono, intangu yandi ibandaka ke salanamin.
Ke salaka, tatanange mingi.
Eli lolula mono, muzolaka vekutuba.
Ukizina unge bingi laka mono. Ukizina unge bingi laka mono.
Hey, Tepe, Eli, what's the matter? Fighting will get you nowhere, Eli. Cut it out, kid. That ain't a toy. Eli.
Don't call me that! I'm not a kid. You hear me?
Enough. On the battlefield, they use one another's nom de guerre. But here, we insist they use their real names. Well, that hasn't sat too well with Eli. Or should I say, Unyoka ya Mbele. He thinks his boys are letting us grown-ups walk all over him.